everybody. I'm Miss Horn and this is Miss Lane, and we're both third grade math teachers at Farmington Elementary in Germantown, Tennessee. And we're here to teach you today about area and perimeter.
So let's talk about our essential questions for this lesson. Number 1, what is the definition of area? Number 2, what is the definition of perimeter? Number 3, what is the formula to find area? And number 4, what is the formula to find perimeter? So let's talk about our objective of the day. Our objective of the day is for you students to find perimeter and area in things around your home. So let's first of all talk about the definition of area. Area is the space covered inside a shape.
I have an example right here, Miss Lane.
So the red part is the space inside the shape. And so the area is the measurement of the red coloring area.
And since the area is the inside space of the shape, the perimeter is actually the outside boundary of the shape, the outside border. I found an at-home example right here in my house. It's a painting of the UT football stadium. My husband's a big fan. I, however, am not. Ole Miss fan over here. But I thought it was a good example of area and perimeter. As you can see, a football field is a rectangular shape. The outside, the white outside, it reminded me of perimeter. So if you're trying to get perimeter, that would be like if you're on the football field, you would just start walking from this corner all the way down. Make sure you go to each side, all 4 sides, and you meet back to where you started. If you counted your footsteps, that would basically be like finding the perimeter. Now, area is, as we said, the space in between on a shape. How would you find the area? Well, think about if mowing the grass on the football field. How would you do that? You'd have to go all the way there, all the way covering all the area. You could even go this way. But the person mowing the lawn would have to know how much he's mowing. And to tell that, he'd have to know the area. And so the area would be measured in square feet. So, Miss Lane, do you have any at-home examples at your house?
I'm in my kitchen right now, and I'm standing on a tiled floor. And the floor is made up of these square tiles. And this particular square tile that I used on my kitchen floor is a 1-foot square tile. So it's 1 foot this way, 1 foot this way, 1 foot this way, and 1 foot this way. So let's talk about perimeter and area on the floor. So let's look at this tile on the floor now and revisit the perimeter and the area question. So perimeter is the boundary all around a shape. And this particular shape we have is a square. So as I said earlier, one side of the square is 1 foot. So we have 1 foot here, 1 foot here, 1 foot here, and then 1 foot here. So finding the perimeter, we take all the sides together and add them up. So we're looking for the total sum of all the sides. So 1 foot plus 1 foot plus 1 foot plus 1 foot would be 4 feet total, which is what the perimeter of this tile is. The outside of the shape is 4 feet. That is the perimeter. Now let's talk about the inside of the shape. The inside of the shape is found by multiplying the length times the width. So we're not going to multiply all four sides. We're only going to multiply the length times the width. So again, we have 1 foot here, and we have 1 foot here. So 1 foot multiplied by 1 foot would equal 1 foot squared. So the area of this shape is 1 foot squared. I've got a new shape. So let's look at the area and the perimeter of this shape. Here you can see we now have 2 tiles in our rectangle. So on this side, we actually have 2 feet together. We have 2 feet on this side of the rectangle. We know that on the other side of the rectangle, we also have 2 feet because of the definition of a rectangle. Opposite sides are equal. On the top over here, we also have 1 foot, which means we have 1 foot on the other. So now let's add the perimeter together. We have 2 feet, and we'll add it to 2 feet, which is 4. We want to add 1 foot to it, which is 5. And then we add the last side of 1 foot. So 5 plus 1 is 6 foot. So the boundary or perimeter of this rectangle is 6 feet. Now let's talk about how we're going to find the area. We know that in area, we multiply the length versus the width. So right here is our length. So right here we have 2, and our width would be 1 foot. So we're going to multiply 1 foot times 2 feet, which equals 2 feet squared. Now, we can see the tiles here. We should have 2 tiles. So that's 1, 2. So the area is 2 feet. To demonstrate another way to have your skills better with perimeter and area, I've decided to show you how you can take cheese crackers and use them to learn about perimeter and area. So I'm taking my cheese crackers and I am making a shape. So we'll put down, let me see, maybe a couple more rows. There we go. And one more. Okay, so here we have our new rectangle shape, and these cheese crackers each are 1 inch all the way around. So we call that 1 inch squared. So the first thing that we do is we're going to look for our perimeter. So our perimeter is the sum of all the sides. So let's go ahead and count up all the sides. So here we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So on this side, we have 4 inches. Now, if we know that that is 4 inches, we then know the other side over here is also 4 inches, since we know it is a square. So now let's find our other side. Here's 1 and 2. So here on the bottom, we have 2 inches. So if we have 2 inches on the bottom, we know up at the top, we also have 2 inches. So if our perimeter is the sum of all the sides, we now need to add up 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2, and 4 plus 2 is 6. 4 plus 2 is 6, so 6 plus 6 is 12 inches. So our perimeter is 12 inches. Now let's talk about the area. We know that area equals the length times the width. So we need our length here and our width here. Remember that area only involves 2 sides. You don't want to multiply all 4 sides together. You only want to multiply the length times the width. So here we will take our 4, multiply it by our 2, and we get 8 inches squared. So our perimeter ends up being 8 inches squared. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, I don't have all those materials and my mom doesn't buy cheese crackers for me. Well, that's kind of the fun of being at home. You can do this in other ways. Let me show you how. All you need to do is make your own tiles. So I took a piece of paper and I made little squares, and now I can make any kind of figure that I would like to. And let's put this one up here. All right, so I want to know what the perimeter of my new shape is. So again, the perimeter is the boundary of the shape. So we're looking for the outside of the shape. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 inches on this side. I have 1 inch on this side. If I have 5 inches on this side, I know the next side is 5 inches. And the top side is 1 inch. So to find the perimeter, we add up all the sides. So I'm going to add up the 5 plus the 1 plus the 5 plus the 1. So 5 plus 1 equals 6. 5 plus 1 equals 6. 6 plus 6 would equal 12 inches. So my perimeter is 12 inches. Now let's do the area. We know that area is the length times the width. So we're going to take our length, which is 5. We're going to times it by our width, which is 1. And that would be 5 inches squared. So our area is 5 inches squared. And you can make shapes all day long.
Okay, let's give it a shot of trying to solve for perimeter and area. So we have a rectangle here with side lengths 4 centimeters and 5 centimeters. Now remember, to get the perimeter, we must add up all of the side lengths because it's the total length of the outside border. Now remember, with rectangles, opposite sides are the same. If this side is 4 centimeters, then I know that that this side is also 4 centimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and label that. If this side is 5 centimeters, then this side is also 5 centimeters. Now, if we're trying to find the total length, which is perimeter, I have to add all of these up. You can add them any way. You could say 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4. You could do the 2 5s first, then the 2 4s first, or the 2 4s second, and then add those sums up. Let's go through the one that I just described. So if I know there's 2 4s, I could say 4 plus 4, that equals 8 centimeters. 5 and 5, I'm going to go ahead and underline so I know that I did both of those side lengths. So then I could do my 2 5s. That equals 10 centimeters. Can't stop there because that's 8. It's talking about those two sides, the length. And then these two are talking about the width. Putting them together, which would equal 18 centimeters. So our perimeter, capital P, would be 18 centimeters. Now, for area, let me get my new color pen for area. Remember, capital P, total length for the perimeter. The area is going to be the space inside of the shape, okay? So if it's the space right here, and remember, it's not length, it is in square units. So you can actually picture a bunch of squares inside of the shape. So because this side length is 5 centimeters, I can actually picture 5 different centimeters on that side. That would be like 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 4 centimeter, 5 centimeter. Now on this side, it would be 4 centimeters. So you can actually picture 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 4 centimeter. And there are your square centimeters. Now, to get area, I'm going to go ahead and put my capital A for area. You can either count up these square units, these square centimeters, which we're going to do first. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there are 20 square centimeters. Make sure you put the square. Now you can also abbreviate for SQ if you wanted to do that as well. There's also one more way of doing this, the more advanced way, which would be, oh, okay, if this side length is 4 and this is 5, we would say that this is the length, this is the width. The formula for area is length times width, and it equals area. So let's go ahead and try that. 4 centimeters times 5 centimeters times 5 centimeters. Well, we can either count 5, 10, 15, 20. That's good, it equals 20. Or you can count by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Either way, it equals 20 square centimeters. It's as simple as that.
So let's review what we learned today. Mrs. Horn, I'm going to ask you the questions, our essential questions that we went over at the first of the lesson. So our first question was, what is area?
Area is the space inside a shape.
Okay. Number 2, what is perimeter?
Perimeter would be the outside boundary of a shape, the border of the shape.
Okay. What is the formula to actually find area?
To find area, you would multiply length and width, and remember to use square units.
Okay. Nice remembering there about the square units. Okay. The next thing, what is the formula to find perimeter?
To find perimeter, you would need to find the sum of all the given sides.
That's perfect. Okay, so we go back to listen to our objective of the day, which is for our students to use the skills learned and find things in their home environment where they can test these skills.
Right. It can be anything in your house. I had a painting in my house. It could be the full painting. It could be a game board. It could be the fence in your backyard. You have unlimited options of how to find or where to find perimeter and area. So hopefully you have fun doing that. And we had so much fun here today. Thank you so much, Miss Lane, for joining me.
Thank you so much. And until next time, guys, be safe and be careful and keep learning.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.